Good evening, everyone. My name is Bess Lennox, and I'm here with Steve Bauer for tonight's our senior night game at TRC Academy. Before the game, for those of you that were watching, Haley Brown and Jamma Bin Edward were both honored. Haley, of course, going to Michigan, and Jamma staying home going to Ryerson. And Lincoln had their senior night last week, I believe, or will be coming up soon as we near the end of the season here. So as mentioned, here with Steve Bauer, really excited to get this one underway.
Yeah, I think this is always a really exciting time of year. You get to like the end of the season, playoffs in there, and there's obviously some playoff implications on tonight, but as you touched on, you get to senior night and you get a lot of emotions, and both Haley and Jamma have been faces not only to the Rise, but actually to the whole OSBA. So to be here for tonight, there's a lot of emotion in the gym, a lot of excitement, and you know, that'll capture the first 2 minutes, but this is a big game for both teams, and I think we'll switch to the competitive natures and juices will win out of what's going to happen tonight.
Absolutely, and it looks like we've got the game being covered here on cable TV as well. So if you guys are listening to Steve and I, as well as to the broadcast, you can compare and contrast. Just let us know how we're doing. And here we go. Game's underway, and Wilson controls the ball for TRC. Got some ball movement. Haley Brown hitting a big three early here. Extending the range for TRC while Jamma picks up a quick foul.
One of the things you love to do to get Haley Brown started, is you want to get her a good touch when the game starts. And a lot of times we talk about getting something close to the rim, some sort of flow and rhythm to her game, but she gets a wide open shot at the top, and I think if you're TRC, you'll love that. You get your best player, clean look. She hits that one, chance to build on the emotions of the start of this game.
Absolutely. We've got both seniors there for TRC involved early. Haley with the three and Jamma picking up the foul. Looks like we have another quick foul here on Ennis. So TRC obviously ready to play. they're excited early.
And senior night will do that. You have, as you said, some faces of the program in their senior night. It kind of draws everybody else knowing how big this game is for them.
Definitely. Here we have our first chance to see Lincoln on offense. Hall bringing the ball up, as she will do, distributing. And both teams getting the look early from three. Lincoln not able to convert there.
Yeah, ended a little deep. Shot clock winding down. As you said, like you kind of luck out. When it gets under 5 seconds, if you can get a good look, you're usually pretty happy with that. Despite it being deep, it's a clean look, and they'll have to take it as their first possession.
Ennis attacking early, unfortunately gets the travel, but you were saying before the game that she's a player that you like. She's long, she's athletic, she's active here early, so that's good to see.
Yeah, great to see. Ennis is a great player. I think she makes a lot of good decisions for the TRC. I think she's a great passer, so getting her penetrating is a good start to getting her involved in the offense.
And there you have the Hall with the ball early, breaking down the pressure, and they get Lincoln gets an open look. Again, not able to convert with TRC pushing back. Ennis with the ball on the wing. Hansen takes the three. That's a name that we will likely be saying a lot. The last game I saw them play, I think she had a game high. That was the same time she committed to Arizona.
We've got the game has started with 4 3-point attempts. Everybody's kind of firing away, and sometimes that happens. Brown makes the first one. You fall a little bit in love with the shot to see if we can get some action going to the rim.
And Ben Edward here with the steal and the take. Oh, good defensive recovery by Hall, and it looks like it's going to be Lincoln ball heading the other way.
Yeah, great play by Hall, getting yourself back in that play. Now, a lot of times defensively, you make that hustle to get back. You don't actually need to be the steal. This worked out perfectly, but just that she took away a layup, and she's going to force Ben Edward to either shoot some free throws or take the ball out of bounds. So this was the ideal scenario, but credit to her getting back and involved.
Something that I saw in the other game with Lincoln is Hall has played at very high levels internationally and within Canada, and her sense of the game and sometimes her passes are kind of a little bit ahead of what her teammates are thinking. So that can be some turnovers, as we just saw there.
Yeah, and you live with that, especially in the game. I think when you have creative point guards like Hall, you want to give them a little bit of freedom. You want to see what she can come up with and what she sees. And the hope for that is whatever she saw on that last play where she thought there was a chance to get to the rim, that communication happens going into this timeout, and now both players get on the same page. It could have been her error, may not have been, but even just the exploration allows for a really good conversation for teams in timeouts.
Yep. Absolutely, and here early, we still just have that three-pointer by Haley Brown, so 3-0 for the Rise. The other possessions, we just saw Wilson dribble it off her foot out of bounds there, so there is good energy on both from both teams. We're talking about this game having playoff implications, it being a seniors night for TRC. These girls are in high school, right? And in other games where we've watched the mental aspect of the game plays a huge part at any level, but especially here. Right?
Oh, absolutely. And there is a lot of emotion here tonight. I mean, you can feel it being in the gym here at TRC. There's a lot of excitement, and this is kind of what we were expecting for the first few minutes, and we had to let them play through some of that. What was the real surprise that Brown made that first shot, and that kind of got everybody a little excited. And I'm going to assume that first time I'll probably go. Both coaches were talking about just that. Like, let's calm down now. We had a chance to play through some of those nerves, and let's get into our game here. We've still got 38 minutes to go, lots of time to get settled, get into our rhythm.
Perfect, and ball's back in. Looks like we've got a sub in for, oh, do we? Nope, everybody's still good. 5 starters.
Crafty little play there by Hall. You saw she got the advantage on the inbound pass that Ennis tried behind her. Does a nice job. Instead of trying to race away from the defender, which a lot of young athletes will try and do, is she actually just took away the space. So instead of her running forward, it was actually laterally to close Ennis off and maintain that advantage. Ennis saw a bit of a panic and had to foul that situation. So real veteran play.
And Ennis, I think that's her her second foul there. Quick one in the first quarter. So Arab Smith, number 26, in for TRC.
Yeah, that's more what we're expecting to see tonight. So you get a rebound up, you got 2 people battling for it, gets knocked to the floor, you get 3 bodies hitting the deck. That's the kind of excitement. You could see both benches getting up. Coaches were excited, teammates were excited, and I expect that energy to kind of carry forward here tonight.
TRC defending this well here. Lincoln just gets it in. Hall takes control at the top. Rainford coming for the screen. Good roll. End of the shot clock here. I don't know if Lincoln is aware, and a violation.
You know, Rainford did a really nice job here, and I think she's actually letting Hall know. She made a great roll to the hoop, and in that she picked up the help defender, the one that was the check for her, but she buried that defender. She went right on top of her, gave up herself, and it freed up Kaylee Hall on the far side, but Hannah, unfortunately, was stuck behind her back and couldn't get it out to her. But nice job by Rainford finding that defender.
And here looks like we've got a foul on Lincoln. I think Kaylee Hall, so the other Hall. The Rainfords here are related. The Halls on Lincoln, no relation. Arab Smith, who's just into the game, has the ball up top, closely guarded. Wilson steps into a 3, no good. Hansen fighting for the board, is able to control it and get the and 1. There we go. That's somebody that TRC wants to have involved tonight.
Yeah, a couple of real good pauses from them. I think first it starts with you got Wilson, a real nice look. One thing that TRC has a challenge doing is everyone's aware of Wilson, her ability to shoot the ball, so getting her a clean, open look is actually a difficult task. So to have that, I think they're probably pretty happy, start to establish some rhythm. And then Hansen just grinded out a great hoop. Offensive rebound, fought through the foul, and put it up there.
And she gets a chance. Look at another one there. I think it's Wilson that finally got it. Gives Ben Edward a layup that she just doesn't convert on the left. But it's a good look nonetheless. Hall for Lincoln brings it back. Good, excellent split by Hall. Good passing by Lincoln. And a 3, that is no good. Hall there to get the offensive rebound and the 2-pointer.
You know, I just want to point out that Rainford again had that same thing, went down and pinned that help defender. She's really given herself the role, and it was her sister, actually, the Rainford that was open, but both times Hall has not seen the pass on top of her roller. So I wonder if that's one thing that Lincoln can point out here in upcoming.
And deep into the shot clock here for TRC as well. And we got a shot clock violation.
Now it's probably Lincoln's best possession defensively. You could see the coaching staff was up applauding that. And what was the big difference for them is they did a real nice job on the ball. Every time it was passed, they kept the thing going side to side. No one was allowed to turn the corner towards the rim. Each of the other possessions, somebody for TRC, minus the first one, has got something going inside the paint and then a kick out.
Definitely, we've got Martindale in the game here. Emily Martindale for Lincoln. Another 3-point attempt, and Haley Brown comes down with the rebound. Eyes up, good push. Arab Smith comes going to take it all the way. And we've got a charge. Hall in position defensively again.
Yeah, always 50-50 calls in the sense that one team loves it, one team hates it. But I think if you're TRC, you see the positives. You get a real great rebound from Brown. She takes one dribble, gets the outlet, gives you a chance to play in space. And I think TRC is going to take Arab Smith in space and make them make that call all night long. And I would be quite encouraged to see that happening and just see what the results are as it continues.
Definitely, and how great is that as a coach, having your big, as soon as she gets the rebound, able to look up and make a great pass down the floor.
It just allows so much freedom. It just lets Brown create that. She can get that one and start the break for you. It allows spacing to happen, allows opportunities to come for your scores, and scores are now playing in scoring space as opposed to trying to bring the basketball up the floor.
Definitely, and a great move there by Rainford, coming from the wing, making a great finish inside.
Yeah, Rainford looks focused there. I think she's having a really great game. We've talked about she's given herself up a couple times, and now a nice take.
Arab Smith with the 3. Hall gets the rebound. Haley looks to push, makes a great pass ahead. Ariel Wilson with the amazing block. And Lincoln picks up a foul that you don't when you're that far away from.
What a great play by Wilson. I mean, that's one of those, usually when you have your smaller guards, they don't get a lot of block shots, and the reason is they usually get steals. You have to play it at the point of contact. When the athlete catches the ball, you've got to play it there. But Ariel Wilson actually timed that perfectly. As it was leaving her hand, she met the thing up there and pushed it towards the glass. It was a really great play.
Yeah. Hansen here open for the 3. That's a good look. I mean, they're getting fairly good open looks here, just not able to convert early. Hall running the point up top. We got another screen from Rainford. There we go. With a great pass, and we're going to get the and one. So maybe that's a conversation they did have.
Well, this one was a little bit different. I agree. It's nice that the Hall made that pass. Rainford this time, the Czech defender in the corner stayed out wide, so Rainford just went to the hoop. And that's actually a really difficult pass and catch when you're looking over the same shoulder where the ball is coming from. So well done by Hall and Rainford to connect on that. And then a tough finish. She caught that one and had a body on her as soon as the ball got there. So nice job keeping control, keeping herself on balance, and putting that ball up and in. Yeah,
and good job by Haley, too, because even had the defender come down from the wing, she put herself in a position where she was able to see. She wasn't blind as she had been previously to what was going on the side that she was coming from.
Yeah, absolutely correct. Kept all the vision in front of her.
Rainford misses the and one there, and Wilson is bringing up the ball for TRC. Hansen on the wing, takes it for the pull-up. No good. Haley gets the rebound. Haley Brown with the finish.
Nice job by Brown, kind of grinding out one for herself there. So that's a hard work basket that you like to see. It'd be nice if they see TRC would have gone back to her. She made the first shot of the game. She's a proven scorer for them. That's her first touch since that time.
Yeah, definitely. They need to kind of maybe try and feed that fire early. You got her going and keep her going in the game. A rush shot there, and looks like Ben Edward is going to pick up a foul on the three-pointer.
Yeah, really, it's unfortunate. Sometimes that happens, is that the offense actually ended up a little bit out of control and probably took a shot they didn't want to. It's late clock, and she probably felt a little rush trying to beat that. So the shot's almost unorthodox. But what happens for defense is you're not expecting them to pull up. So the defense, Ben Edwards out there almost thinking she's got a chance to really disrupt the actions going on, late clock, maybe get a steal. But the offense player is taken off in the shot form, and now the contact happens. So probably more of a bad luck thing for Ben Edward than probably a bad decision.
Definitely, and we've got Campbell, the sub here, who just missed the first of 3. Ben Edward, I believe that's also her second foul. So Ben Edward and Ennis with 2 early. And for TRC, Joseph's into the game here.
Yeah, with the foul trouble, it's an excellent point. They may now really want to explore how they get Brown involved. It doesn't be serious to take the shots, just want to get her involved to see how Lincoln's going to defend actions she's involved with.
Definitely. She's a big, active body and creates problems on both ends of the floor, as we've seen early here.
And that was probably the best find for Hall yet on the ball screen. She went in there, Rainford had another nice roll down towards the block. And when the blast cut came up, she had an open guard player, threw it back behind her to Johnson.
Hall with the deep 3 late in the clock, and she gets it.
It's a big hit. You needed that one. So that's because of the foul, they got 2 chances down here, but both of their shots were late shot clocks. So they're not getting the looks they really want right now. So big hit just to relieve that pressure.
Definitely. Brown loses the ball up top. Martindale's on the floor, still in. Lincoln able to get it out over half here. Campbell with the ball, pushing it ahead. He'll look to pull it back out. Campbell will try another three. It's no good. Lincoln controls the board, and Hansen picks up a foul there.
Probably one Hansen didn't mean to take. I think Kaylee Hall does a nice job in this possession. She hits the floor on one side, runs down the floor, collapses the defense in the pass, gets another offensive rebound. And TRC probably felt a little bit scrambled. I'm assuming that's why Hansen went there and just took a foul on that play. But really, she probably had a chance to let that develop a little bit more because they had the inside position and could have stayed in the defensive part. So why I say it's probably not a great one is you don't want Hansen, especially with your other guards already sitting with 2 fouls in the first quarter, you don't want to put Hansen down in a spot where any one call puts her into foul trouble as well, too. You need her on the floor now for the next 13 minutes at least to bridge that gap with the other guards.
So we've got 3 minutes left here in the first. Arab Smith with the ball up top, going out to Wilson on the wing. Cross-court pass, little touch pass inside to Josephs, who's working, gets an open look for Wilson. Not able to convert, unfortunately. But I think TRC will retain possession. Oh, no. Looks like it's going to be Lincoln ball. Crowd's not happy.
Yeah, and, you know, credit to Hansen for that one, going back in there. So we talked about the foul in the last play. She went there and crashed for the offensive rebound, but did a real nice job of staying away from contact, keeping her hands in her own cylinder, so she didn't put herself at risk at foul, but gave her team a chance, a real good chance of getting that ball back.
Hall with the ball up top, driving. Campbell kicks it to the corner. Haley Hall, three-pointer is no good. Wilson again here, pushing for TRC. And she's going to take it herself. No good. Arab Smith with the follow, and no and one there. She will shoot 2.
Nice job by Wilson. Again, we talked a bit earlier. She has a bit of a reputation as a shooter in this league. She's had a couple looks, and what she does now is almost like a bit of a change of speed. So got to about center. Looked like everyone was kind of getting set. Then she put her head down to go, and I think it caught some of Lincoln by surprise. So gets them a great chance at the rim, gets them in transition, and it leads to opportunities where you get offensive rebounds. And the defense is not set. The opportunity's there for Eb Smith to come in and follow that.
Definitely. The first one's good here. And she converts 2 of 2. For TRC, Haley Brown is going to get her first rest of the game, and we're going to get our first look at Kate Moran, who has been injured for much of this season. And with that, Lincoln will counter, taking Rainford out.
Yeah, you can see a bit of the matchups playing into the substitution patterns already for both teams, trying to find when to give the bigs a rest, when to give them a chance what the matchup should look like for both sides. And I think with Moran, as you said, coming back, they just don't want her chasing Rainford. Rainford does such a great job in the ball screen, rolling, finding space, and we've talked today about plucking out those defenders, but she's very active in it, and that's been very consistent all year. She sets a screen, finds space. And I think with Moran, they'd like to have her a little more presence around the rim right now and less chasing Rainford all around the court.
And for Lincoln, who came in there, is Ferrero in the middle of the zone. Martindale controls up ahead to Hall. Hall looks like she's going to take it herself there. No good. Moran with the rebound. Pushes to Wilson, who's going to pull up, take it herself. Arab Smith again controlling the rebound. Kicking out. Wilson's got a great look. Still not able to convert. TRC controlling the boards with Rainford out. Moran gets another opportunity, and it's going to stay here for TRC.
Yeah, Moran does a little bit we talked about before with Brown, so maybe it's something TRC is doing, but it looks great. She got that rebound. She took the first dribble and made that pass ahead again, too, to keep them in transition. So that allows, like we talked about, all the guards are moving forward, and they all felt very comfortable. Moran had it, and everybody was running down the floor. So a great look for TRC.
Herb Smith has to throw it up. We're going to get a shot clock violation there. Lincoln didn't like what they saw with Rainford on the break, so she comes right back in. Both Rainfords looks like are going to come back into the game here.
And my gut tells me it's a little bit more for the defensive end last time down. It looked like Lincoln got a little bit lost on who was protecting the rim, so they've probably gone back to Rainford just to have a quick chance to talk to the two subs, let them know what the expectations were in their rotations, and there's probably a good chance we'll see them back sooner than later.
So last minute here in the first, Lincoln on offense. Martindale down in the corner. Stuck there with the trap. I don't know how long she's going to be able to hold on. Gets the ball out to Rainford, passes to her sister. Able to get the bucket.
Yeah, the extra passing's been it's been noticeable for both teams. Both teams making the unselfish pass, going for one better to get an even greater shot, and that worked out there, turning a little jumper into a layup.
Arab Smith with the ball at the top. She's going to take the three. No good, but she's after her own rebound there, and Moran and Arab Smith, Rainford all on the ground fighting for it. Got a jump ball. It's going to stay down here.
The trio of Josephs, Moran, and Arab Smith has added a real nice presence on the offensive glass for TRC. The three of them just seem to always have a presence in there. There's always one going right to the rim, and there's two that seem to be floating around that area. So it's put a lot of pressure on the defensive rim for Lincoln.
And Arab Smith at 5'9", doing a really good job getting in there and grabbing those boards.
Yeah, they've got a nice mix. Moran has some height, Josephs has some real good strength, and Smith with some quick athleticism to make it different looks in the rebounding.
Wilson again with another missed three. TRC with another rebound. You would think that if she's going to keep getting those looks, she'll eventually convert. Hansen can't get the jumper to go. Moran in there on the rebound. Looks like it's going to be Lincoln ball. TRC getting many offensive rebounding opportunities here, second chances.
Yeah, Lincoln gets the break on that, but you're right. TRC's been all over the glass. It continues to put a lot of pressure on that. And I also would agree that if Wilson and the rest of TRC continues to get these three-point shots, offensive rebounds, three-point looks, the score right now is in Lincoln's favor, but the flow of the game right now feels very TRC. So I think Lincoln has to make some changes to either the quality shot that they're giving up or to the offensive rebounds they're allowing.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of end of shot clock opportunities for Lincoln, or end of shot clock kind of rush shots that have gone in. We're talking about Hall's three, or kind of the little passes that have gone their way at the end that are coming off weird plays as opposed to TRC more in the flow.
Right, absolutely. And it's great to have the lead the first quarter with that, but you don't want to rely for 40 minutes on that working out.
Rainford there with the three. We've got, the shot clock and the game clock were not synced.
Yeah, they had we had some fans who were definitely on top of that the game clock had gone maybe before the referees picked up, but a really great first quarter. And I think like we touched on, Lincoln's got to go into this timeout now, probably just talk about the things they want to make some adjustments and for whatever lens they want to go, whether it's the shots that they're giving up, the shots that they're getting in this end, or the rebounding. But one of those three trifectas has to change for them to continue success. But at the same time, you got to look at it as, okay, those first 10 minutes didn't go probably according to plan, but we've got ourselves a lead, so it's a great spot to be in. TRC, on the other hand, probably has a lot of positives to talk about and are now just waiting for the outcomes to catch up to that. Some of those shots have got to start to fall or converting the rebounds into points.
Perfect. Yep, definitely. We'll look for all those things in the second quarter, and we've just got a video here at the break. The second quarter is underway. For those of you just joining us, it's 13 for Lincoln Prep and 9 for TRC at the end of the first here on TRC's Seniors Night. Playoff implications for both teams in this game here. Rainford gets the ball inside, and Moran picks up a quick foul there.
Interesting. Lincoln came out obviously with an emphasis or a focus on getting Rainford a touch. TRC's gone to a line with both Moran and Brown in there, so they still want to make sure Rainford's involved, and you got to give them a lot of credit for that. I think it's one piece we talked about in the first quarter. TRC probably could have done it a little bit more, is get Brown an extra touch or two as well under that same kind of premise.
Yes, and it looks like here that Lincoln's gone back to their starters as Rainford puts up a three. TRC keeping Ben Edward and Ennis out of the game here, both with 2 fouls early. Good defensive possession there by Lincoln.
Both teams come out, though, trying to establish something inside, work inside out. So nice timeout quarter break for both teams to reassess what they're trying to do here on offense.
Lincoln continues their good ball movement here from the first quarter. Down to the end of the shot clock again. Hall puts it up, and it's good for 2. Haley Hall at the end of the shot clock.
Lincoln continues to survive at the end of shot clocks here. They looked, TRC probably had about 20 seconds of great defense. And that last skip, just no one seemed to come help on in the penetration. They go down and get a layup.
Yeah, great look there, big to big. Haley Brown hits Moran inside, easy 2, she keeps it high.
Yeah, I love to see that. You go 2 forwards, you get Brown and Moran, the four together. You know they're going to look for each other. I think it's just built into forwards mentality.
And a good defensive play there by Hansen. Ball is loose. Hannah Hall comes away with it. And Lincoln eventually controls. In the last game we did with TRC, there were just a ton of back and forth in terms of possessions like that. The first one we've seen so far tonight.
Hansen does a great job creating an extra opportunity, just unlucky bounce.
Again, here we're getting to the end of the shot clock. Hannah Hall with the shot. Haley Hall with the board. TRC breaks it up. Again, they're on the floor for the loose ball. Can't fault the effort so far.
Oh, it's been incredible. What a game to be a part of here tonight. We knew at the beginning, we've talked about the emotion in the gym too, and we've also knew that with the implications, and there's no love lost between these two teams. They're very competitive, and it's been showing on the floor. We got people on the floor almost seems like any time a ball hits a 50-50 area, you got 3 or 4 bodies down there. So this has been just a treat to watch, and I'm expecting the same thing to continue.
Definitely. Looks like we've got Reinhardt and Haley Hall coming out for Lincoln with Martindale and Campbell are back in the game. And then what we just talked about, Ben Edward and Ennis with the early foul trouble for TRC. They have both subbed back in, hoping to making an immediate impact. And Arab Smith, who has played amazingly in this first part of the game, subbing out along with Moran. TRC with the turnover. Rainford controls. Over to Campbell. Gets the travel.
I really like the call by TRC of getting Ben Edward and Ennis back in the game. I think it's sometimes as coaches we work too much with those fouls, and you can go so long with these players sitting on the bench because it's not even just the game time of 15 minutes of the first half, but they also get the halftime, the quarter break. So it doesn't have to be a long stretch right now, and you don't want to put them into a terrible position if you can get away without them, but I do think it's good to keep them engaged in the flow of the game.
Hansen with the missed 3 there. Hall pushing. Oh, and it looks like, there you go, when you're talking about not getting them in for a long time and not wanting them to pick up a foul, it looks like Ben Edward there has just picked up her third, and we'll get Arab Smith on the quick sub back into the game.
That's really unfortunate. You feel a bit because I believe she had the one earlier at the top, but the offense was thrown a little bit out of on the shot they weren't expecting, and I think it happened to her again here now too. The offensive player almost ran herself in the travel, was able to just hold her balance, but it surprised Ben Edward, and she kind of took up some space that she didn't probably want to. So really unlucky on 2 of her fouls. They probably were both fouls, but just a bit of unlucky fouls.
Yeah, and Ennis with the board there on the Martindale miss. Hansen with the travel.
Oh, that's a great move. I think it was one of those moments you can almost see like she had a change of heart just before she started the move. And I think we've all been in that moment sometimes where Hansen saw what she was going to do and then saw something else. And that just, the indecision for even the split second can cause that.
Get a good show there from Brown. Rainford open inside. Hansen coming over. They got the double team, and looks like we're going to get another foul here. So a couple of TRC picking up another couple of fouls here early. They're going to have to be careful.
And on that roll, the one that I noticed, though, I mean, the foul seems to be quite a contentious conversation going on the floor, but the one that I noticed, that was probably the first time Rainford didn't go down and pluck off that extra defender, and it was probably the first time that Hall had thrown it back to that side of the floor. So obviously they talked about it, Lincoln. They were trying to make a concerted effort to get it back over there, but we lost the piece of how great Rainford had been hitting the defender.
A score there for Lincoln to bring things back under control with that extra opportunity they got with the foul call. Wilson up top looking for Ennis inside. Ball will stay here with TRC.
And Lincoln's done a really nice job converting their opportunities. Like one thing that we've thought about the first quarter, and Hall showed it again on this play, was just converting the shots that they have. So even whether it's late clock or in a crowd like this, they're putting the ball in the hoop. And there's a lot to be said for just making shots as these games go on.
Yeah, absolutely, because we've seen Wilson and Ben Edward for TRC miss a couple of layups, and that's what we're talking about with Lincoln when they've been close to the basket, or even with some of their three-point looks. So the big one that Hall hit, they're converting on those opportunities, which has them up here 17-11, so maintaining their lead in the second quarter.
Yeah, and you hope for, if you're TRC, the one thing they're probably talking about and you're going to assume is going to happen is once they can kind of break that a bit, I feel like there's still some of those nerves and anxiety from the start of the game, and sometimes things feel so tight when a couple of them don't go down. So what they probably need now is just one or two to go, and the whole thing can start to get going a bit better, because they are getting pretty good shots and pretty good chances in close. And the one that jumps out to us, I think, that we've talked about is they probably had Wilson 4 or 5 good looks, and I think it's pretty rare that you see her go 0 for at that stage. So that could all just break open at any time, and I'm sure if you just keep getting those quality shots, TRC's got to feel good about how it's going to turn out.
Those percentages tend to work themselves out over
Always.
the game. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like you feel really good for the guy who goes, 50% from the line. He hits his first 3 and then misses the rest of the game. So you get that average over the whole contest.
It does typically work itself out. That's very true.
So we got Joseph's back here in the game for TRC. Looks like we've got the same lineup for Lincoln. Ennis inbounding the basketball, gets it to Arab Smith, who's just been really active on both, as I've said previously, on both ends of the floor for TRC. Doing a really good job in that sub spot. Ennis finds Joseph, not able to convert. Spatafor with the rebound, out to Hall.
Yeah, and that's been the story for TRC. Nice job by Ennis behind the zone. Gets it down there, gets everyone kind of turned the wrong way, makes a beautiful pass. They just can't finish the 4-footer.
There, and again, as you mentioned, with the screen and the roll and looking for Rainford inside, not able to convert. Campbell with the 3. Ennis controls the board. Fakes the pass, takes it herself. Excellent finish for Michaela Ennis inside.
Yeah, maybe that's the one they need now. Maybe that's the one they get out in transition, get a nice scoop finish. Maybe that can get things going a bit for them. I'm assuming they probably don't want Ennis out there too much longer since Ben Edward did get her 3rd foul. So nice to get a little spark from her here.
Definitely, and Hansen reading the pass up top, makes the pick, gets it up to Arab Smith, who's going to take and miss the layup, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're still getting chances. Hansen's done a nice job too in this middle area around half court of getting a touch on the ball, creating loose balls, getting a steal in this case. So I think if TRC can continue to create these, they're going to find themselves maybe a couple easy shots to get that rhythm going.
Definitely. Defensively so impressive, just standing up right there to Hannah Hall, not letting her go where she wants to get to. Hall throws it away. It's going to be TRC basketball.
Yeah, Arab Smith's been a real nice plus for them, and I think that a lot of times athletes, what she'll remember is a missed layup from the last trip down, but her impact, as you said, blowing up some plays on defense, creating some of these chances on the offensive glass and on the offensive attack, are big positives, and I think she's been a real nice spark for them this game with the foul trouble they're playing at that position.
Got Haley Hall back in the game here for Lincoln. Hansen with the ball up top for TRC. Finds Ennis on the wing. She's going to get into traffic and tries to finish the layup. It's no good. Rainford controls. Hall pushing it up the floor. Ennis with her length. Going to try and make things difficult for Hannah at the top.
And I like that TRC giving Hannah Hall a couple different looks. They've gone with some great athletes on her. Not that Ennis is not herself, but also some length. They're just giving her different looks of what she's facing.
And they're meeting Rainford there in the key. Tough shot. Can't get the finish. Looks like it's going to be TRC basketball.
And we thought at the beginning, one of the things that Rainford really jumped out, and I've kind of gone back to it a couple times, is her ability on the roll to make some things happen. But it looks like Lincoln's quite focused on getting the ball into Rainford on that. And I think that if TRC continues what they're doing right now, that's going to limit Rainford's effectiveness, and it has to get back to, if you're Lincoln, plucking off that help defender and then finding the open player right now. See how TRC will handle the open player in space.
Definitely, and obviously not TRC basketball there. Lincoln took it out of bounds, and Hall controls it up top down to the end of the shot clock here again. Gets it off in time. Oh, Ennis had the initial rebound. Spatafor takes it back, and Hall is running the point again here for Lincoln, trying to get a better opportunity. Joseph with pressure up top. Hansen bothering Hall. Hall finds Hall. It's a two-pointer. It's going to be no good. Rainford controls the board and gets the finish. So again, another opportunity, and they're able to convert.
Yeah, Rainford does a nice job following the play. Kaylee Hall makes that one happen. She's in there fighting, gets the tip on it, but Rainford deserves credit as well, too, for tracking the ball, staying with it.
There we go. Ennis with a good attack, and it looks like Rainford is going to pick up the foul there. Ennis will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, and that's what, if you're TRC, you want that right now. So we've talked a couple times now, they just can't get themselves in a rhythm making shots. So to get something going towards the rim, getting a chance to go to the free throw line, trying to establish those things to break the ice on is probably exactly what they need. And I think Ennis does a real nice job getting through the first 2 layers, and what you would have loved to see from Ennis is drawing that third defender, which she did in Rainford, and that be a spot where she could have made a pass, because they're probably 1 or 2 passes away from a wide open shot at that time.
Ennis converts on the first, and she goes 2 for 2. Hall bringing the ball up the floor. She's got Ennis on her here. Rainford up top being guarded by Brown, and Moran's back on the floor for TRC. She's got Spatafor at the top. Oh, opportunity for an interception there by Ennis, just missed. Hall inside. Martindale's got it on the wing. Again, we're getting down to the end of the shot clock here. Spatafor gets it off in time, and they hit. I mean, you say that you can't keep playing the game this way, but I mean, so far in this first half, it's been working for Lincoln.
Yeah, it's been working. I mean, TRC's done a nice job of playing defense for about 18 seconds of possessions, what it's really boiling down to. They're going to find a way to extend it to 24, the way Lincoln's converting their opportunities.
Absolutely, and TRC tries to answer there. Can't convert. Rainford with the board. Hall to Martindale to Hall. Rainford being guarded by Brown on the wing. And we're under 10 again. Hall pulls up. Can't convert that time. And Wilson with the rebound. She's got her eyes up, looking down the floor already. Hits Hansen. Tough finish. She's not going to get it to go, but she'll have 2 shots at the line.
I love that decision by Wilson here. She explored a bit herself coming down the wing, then got to a stage where she realized she didn't have a chance to go anymore. But when she looked across the floor, you had Brown, who was at basically a standstill or backing up, and then you had Hansen, who's on the move, and she chose to give it to the player on the move. And one advantage is for Hansen, it's so difficult as a defender to step in when someone's at full speed heading towards the rim, and Hansen capitalized on it. So a lot of credit to Wilson making that decision. I personally would have been locked in on Brown, and then you would have missed the opportunity that Wilson found.
Definitely, and as mentioned, I mean, she's got her eyes up from the moment that she gets the basketball, making those good decisions. Hansen converts on both. So we've had this kind of same margin between the 2 teams for pretty much the whole game here, kind of holding steady. Hall with the drive, not able to convert, but we're going to get a block on Wilson.
A nice little wrinkle there from Lincoln. They've done a lot of the high post entry, but then it's always been taken back out, ball screen action coming back to the same side. But this time there's been a quick little handoff, and I think that surprised a bit of TRC. They still had the guards on the top side of the action, so it allows Hall to get something going right towards the rim. So nice little wrinkle, nice little adjustment of what they see, how they're being defended.
And from what we saw at the beginning of the first quarter, where I think, the initial 6 shots were all threes, teams have loosened up. They're getting defensive out of position, looking to attack the rim and get opportunities that way. We've had a bunch now. Foul calls, going hard at the basket, that kind of thing.
Yeah, both teams have done a real nice job of getting a good balance in their shots now, getting some chances from the outside, but also getting some stuff going to the rim.
Got a shot in the corner here from Hansen, and it's good for 3.
And those are the perimeter shots that you want. You get Hansen, you got a great shooter standing in the corner, uncontested. The ball moves to her. She has her balance underneath her. And I mean, uncontested, just a great look for TRC. And now it's back to a 2-point game.
Spatafor with the drive, and we've got the rebound from Lincoln. It's good for 2.
Great follow. You sneak into the game, and then the best thing you can do is go get a hustle play like that, gives yourself an uncontested lay-in, like a nice way to get yourself into the flow of the game.
And keep yourself in the game as a sub.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good look from Wilson there, inside to Brown, and we've got a foul. Looks like it's going to be on Haley Hall, and Haley Brown will head to the line here for 2. Kaylee Hall, my apologies.
Really, Brown does a real nice job there because she catches that, and Hall's on her right as the ball's being received, but she does a nice job of keeping the ball high but also strong, so she's able to take the contact inside her hands and still get the ball up to the rim. It's going to be a tough one to make when you're getting hit while shooting, but she gave it a chance, which is what you really ask for athletes while they're getting fouled. So Brown does a nice job of having a base underneath her, good strength on the basketball, keeping it up and not letting it get below the rim.
And Brown goes 2 for 2. We talk about this in the other games, talk about Brown's strong base. These girls at this level in high school now, they're putting in the work not only on their game in the gym, also working in the weight room, on their fitness. Their overall level is really impressive.
And a credit to the OSBA for that. Like the training environment these girls are in every day is, they're obviously putting in all the work, but they're given the resources and the environment around them to allow them to really excel and grow. And you can see it on the floor, what's happening with them. Like you said, is the skills, but also like the physical base that they're building underneath them.
Definitely. Rainford misses down here for Lincoln. We come back. Hansen with another great move. This time, there's no travel there, and she picks up she gets the foul call as well. So she'll be going back to the line for 2, where she's been very consistent tonight. When we come back from this timeout.
Yeah, and I think Hansen in transition is usually something you really like if you're TRC. The other one was a bit of an anomaly that, like I said, I think she got caught between 2 moves in one moment. So if they can get a chance to throw it ahead to her like this, they'll take that, and Hansen will make a lot of this happen. And what she's really great at is, because she's shifty side to side, is she'll draw a foul probably more often than she even goes to the rim to finish herself too, which is something you love. Put the other team in a little bit of pressure, get yourself some free shots on the free throw line.
And with these foul shots here, Hansen has the opportunity to tie up the game. We're under a minute left in the first half, and as we'd mentioned, Lincoln has, despite their last second end of shot clock opportunities and sort of broken plays, they have managed to maintain a 5 to 7 point margin lead here in the first half, and TRC looking to take that away as we head into the break.
Yeah, and we talked a bit like on Lincoln's end that they had some things they had changed in the first quarter that maybe was making it a very fortunate outcome. But they've done a nice job here on limiting their offensive rebounding that TRC's had in the second quarter. The piece that they're now going to want to talk about heading towards halftime is just getting some more reliable and predictable shots on offense. They've hit a lot of tough ones, late ones, and I think that if you're going to rely on that, you never know. It just takes one micro thing to disrupt what's going on, and you don't get that shot off. So they're going to have to make some sort of adjustment offensively, I think, to give them some consistency.
And for TRC too, we've seen them be able to work Ennis back in this second quarter, which has definitely been to their benefit. Her length on defense, her attacking ability on offense, both have created problems for Lincoln here. Hansen again goes 2 for 2, and we do have a tie game. 46 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah, and this has been a nice ejection. I'm surprised she's playing the last 46 seconds starting on a defensive possession because of that scenario, but it's been a nice call by them because she's injected some life on both ends for them.
Hall's going to put it up on the wing for 3, and it is good. Kaylee Hall gives Lincoln a 3-point advantage here in the last 24 seconds. Hansen with the ball for TRC at the top, gets a cutting Wilson. Wilson not able to convert on the layup. Lincoln's going to have one last opportunity here. Hall ahead to Hall. There we go. Another big basket there for Kaylee Hall at the end of the game. She's got 5 points at the end of the half, she's got 5 points to finish it off. Wilson goes for the 3, it's no good, and that's how the first half will finish. Lincoln with a bit of an offensive spurt there at the end to lead 29-24 at the break. They restore that lead.
Yeah, the 3 by Kaylee Hall was a really big one because, as you mentioned, TRC worked themselves all the way back. You get it to a tie, and I think that's a bit of a momentum and confidence things for or against whatever side of the equation you're on that. But to have that response to give yourself the lead back is a really big play. And then the next thing you know, they come down one possession later and they stretch it back up to 5. So for Lincoln, that's a really key response. TRC still has some momentum they want to build on the second half, but Lincoln probably needed that. You hate to see a lead dwindle and just evaporate by halftime. So it's a little boost for them going into the break.
Absolutely. And then coming out into the second half here, what can we expect to see from TRC?
I think TRC's got some very positive things on offense that I would be pretty pleased with. I think they just want to start to talk about converting some of those shots. For them on the defensive end, they're probably to talk about what are they doing with that Rainford Hall ball screen combination. And thus far, they've really piled in on the Rainford piece, and they either going to stay with that aspect or try and change it. Lincoln, on the other hand, I think also has to talk about that same action. We now see what TRC is doing to Rainford the ball screen. How do we change that to get some shots out of this? Because they need something a little more consistent on offense.
And I think, too, maybe defensively for TRC, we've talked about the effort level from both teams, but it's not only working hard, it's working smart as well. So just knowing what kinds of shots that Lincoln has been getting and the opportunities and being able to adjust defensively to those.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we said, they've had a lot of shots in the last 4 or 5 seconds of the shot clock, so to extend, can't overcommit just because they start the 8-7 second countdown. You gotta play that thing right to the end. That would actually eliminate a lot of Lincoln's opportunities right now.
No relaxing.
Exactly.
Well, maybe we'll learn some stuff here from the mini game going on at halftime, and then we will be back for the third quarter.
Lincoln Prep's Emily Martindale. So just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the game. So the last time you guys played Bill Crothers was a different outcome and they beat you. What were the adjustments you had to make coming into tonight's game?
I think when we were coming into this game, we were just like more focused. Like we wanted to be mentally sound, and on our defense, we just didn't want to get any like easy buckets like they did last time.
You had a great individual performance. You really provided a lot of energy for your team by getting your hand on a lot of loose balls, offensive rebounds. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
I think it was just, instead of boxing out, I was just boxing out the other players and getting the boards easily and tracking down the ball and just attacking the basket like when I got the chance every time.
Now, as the inaugural season of the OSBA really comes to an end, what are some focal points for your team?
Well, a focal point would obviously be winning the championship, but I think just getting better as a team and communicating offense and definitely more offensive and defensive rebounds.
Congrats on the win, Em, and continue the good work.
Thank you.
Liana Say checking in here. We have Justina King, who scored 18 points in a losing effort today to Lincoln Prep. Justina, talk to us about what the game plan was.
We definitely knew that Lincoln Prep was definitely a team that would be a very hustly team. They would get all the 50-50 balls. We knew that we really had to push, and they outworked us in that aspect of the game. So that was one thing that we definitely came into the game knowing that we had to do, but didn't execute it ourselves. Well, we have some very key players missing on our team, but in practice it's kind of tough because we have a lot of less numbers, so we're doing a couple 4-on-4s, so not a lot of gameplay, but we're trying our best to do everything that we can to prepare for games with what we have.
I wanted to say congratulations on your invitation to Canada Basketball's March Camp. How has playing for Jody Graham, one of our national team coaches, helped you prepare for that?
It's definitely very helpful. She's taught me so much about the different style of play, like coming from different coaches. So her style of play is really helping me develop into the Canada basketball style.
Okay, good luck in your tryouts, and forward to seeing you for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
win for you guys tonight. Big third quarter. You guys went on a 20-8 run to finish that. What were the keys during the run for you?
I think offensively we were looking to execute and explode off of our defensive rebounds, and then on defense I think it was important for us to stop them because they're a good shooting team, so stop them from the three-point line and then box out and get good rebounds.
Hey, a tough loss for you guys tonight. What do you take from this heading into the playoffs?
Definitely we need to work on our rebounding as a team. They got a lot of easy rebounds over us, and also we just got to finish at the rim. I mean, we had a couple easy looks on transition buckets and we just couldn't finish. So definitely moving into the playoffs, that's something we need to work on. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an exciting game to watch. How did you feel to get back on the court tonight?
I mean, I felt great to get back out there. I mean, I could have done a bit more for my team, but you know, I'm just happy to be back playing and back with my team. Hopefully I can help in the playoffs.
It is not height, it is not talent, it is nothing like that. Team Ontario is development first, exposure second.
All right, and after a halftime cake break, we are back. If you're just joining us, I'm Bess Lennox. We're here with Steve Bauer. We have TRC Academy against Lincoln Prep in TRC's Seniors Night game here. Game with big playoff implications for both teams. Exciting matchup so far. Lincoln is up 29-24 after 2 quarters. They have a 5-point advantage. They had a 4-point advantage after the first quarter, so pretty consistent here as both squads take the court. I will notice that Jamma Bin Edward, who has 4 fouls, is not starting for TRC. In her place is Kate Moran.
Moran's been a good injection for the lineup in the first half, had a presence both defensively and on the offensive glass, so we're not losing a lot right now. Obviously, be excited when they get Bin Edward back on the floor.
Kaylee Hall there, hoping to pick up where she left off in the first half. Misses the 3, and it looks like it's going to be TRC ball out of bounds.
And nice job by Rainford there. Brown had a pretty good rebound up above her head, but it looked like not a great grasp on it, so Rainford kind of snuck in there and gave a chance at it, knocked it out of her hands, just couldn't corral it.
Ennis on the wing gets the screen from Moran. Tries to throw it up top, but Hansen was cutting instead. Hall picks it up and is going to not convert on the transition layup there. Wilson with the basketball for TRC.
Yeah, I love to see Moran, love when the big women get back, rebound, protect their own hoop that way. She chased that play down, collected the miss.
Hansen with the 3, can't get it to go. Rainford gets the rebound. Hall pushes.
Both teams trying to establish a little bit of their rhythm here in the second half. You want to go to where you think your best shots are, see how the other team's going to defend you. It's usually the key to opening up the half.
Lauren Rainford with the drive and a tough finish there. Wilson was with her all the way to the basket. Rainford got the 2 to go.
Yeah, it was kind of like as you get a drive and with that for Rainford, Wilson was there, so no one really came to help. Moran kind of stunted a bit, but saw that it was covered, and that allowed Rainford to kind of capitalize on the one-step advantage.
Ennis trying to answer, can't get the layup to go there. Hall slows it down for Lincoln.
Both teams established a bit going to the rim here early, though. Both teams have had 3 or 4 touches in the paint.
Looks like they're going to go back to the pick and roll there with Rainford inside. Spatafora just too strong, but it's going to stay Lincoln basketball as Hansen touches it out of bounds.
And you can see both Rainford and the coaching staff talking there. Lincoln, they want to use that triangle passing for the post, so not having to be rushed or not being too early with the pass, but explore both angles. Get it back to the wing, back to the top, make sure we get the seal and the entry.
Rainford inbounding here. TRC doing a good job defensively, and they get the 5-second count. It's going to be TRC basketball here.
Nice job by TRC. It's just a little bit of momentum thing. You get a 5-second count. It just feels great defense because you know that takes some effort. You can't have those just by chance.
Wilson fakes as though she's going to pull up for the 3, gets it inside to Moran, gets it back, and loses the basketball there. Rainford controls, gives it up to Hall, who's going to push. Finds Spatafor on the wing. Hall over Moran. Won't go. Good trash by Rainford, but Haley Brown with the rebound.
And there's Brown at the outlet that we talked about again, too. Actually was able to put the ball on the floor and get around the first layer of defense herself. That's a real big asset to getting the rest of your team moving.
Definitely. Hansen 4-3 from Brown. Good action there by TRC.
Patience in the 2-man game, so you get Hansen and Brown working. They had a couple handoffs, just a little misdirection, waiting for the defense to collapse on one. Eventually they did with Brown. Gave Hansen some space to get a good clean shot off.
And that's something we can see from both the bigs, Brown and Rainford, TRC and Lincoln, putting the ball on the floor, having their eyes up, good passing to see their teammates. Here we go. It's going to stay here for Lincoln on the pass.
And TRC's done a nice job defensively. They've got the clock down to 3 seconds again, so they're going to put themselves in a position where if you defend the sideline well, you can force a really tough shot, and the key will be to finish off with a good rebound.
Good defense there by TRC. Batted out of bounds, and it's going to be Lincoln ball on the sideline again. We've got 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, they like those ones. If you're defense, you get a little tip, nothing really happens, just takes another second off the clock, make this thing even more difficult for Lincoln.
Hall gets it in, puts one up, doesn't go, fighting for the rebound. Ennis comes down with it, and it's going to be a jump ball.
One of the funny parts of those plays is like we all knew like a tough shot was coming, and you get Hall stuck in a situation where there's not a lot she can do, but you got to give her credit when the players can put that on the rim like Hall did. It just gives you a chance to either, 1, go in, which would be great, but 2, gives you a chance to take a chance at the offensive rebound. Maybe something gets tipped around, which you've seen a lot of this game.
Absolutely, and it's just by chance there that the jump ball went TRC's way. Ennis with the great look back to Moran, who just can't handle the ball. It's going to be Lincoln's going the other way.
Don't want to assume we can know what's going through Ennis's mind, but it really looked like she got all the way to the rim and saw that none of the defenders on that side of the floor had come and identified that it was all the way back behind her for the pass. So really great find by her, as you said, to get back behind her to find Moran.
Spatafor with the ball on the wing. Again, we're under 10 seconds in the shot clock here for Lincoln. Rainford inside. Ennis with the length gets the block out to Moran, who's going to take it herself. Looks up. Push to Hansen a bit too far. Moran follows, though. Still up for grabs. And finally, we get Ennis with the drive. We're going to get the foul call. If this is on Aiden Rainford here, that would be her 3rd. So, you know, we talked about Ben Edwards with the foul trouble. We've got a couple of girls on both sides of the floor with 2 fouls, potentially 3 there for Aiden Rainford. So a consideration for both teams.
Yeah, something to watch going on the stretch. But this play for TRC, like, how engaging is that? You see, you got Moran takes an outlet pass, or the first pass, takes a dribble, throws it down the floor. Hansen has to save the high pass. Then you got Wilson hitting the floor, a couple extra passes being made by TRC, and you can just feel what that does for the bench. It seemed like there was 3 or 4 instances in one play where everyone's getting up and encouraging their teammates. So there's a lot of excitement going on TRC right now, and that energy kind of fuels itself.
Hansen there thought that should have been TRC basketball, but Lincoln is going to control, pass it in.
TRC is going to use this momentum they have right now and see if they can extend some pressure, what that does to the flow of the game.
Hansen up on Hall in the full court, and she's been excellent defensively, keeping Hannah in front of her when she's had that assignment this game. Spatafor on the wing, Kaylee Hall in the corner. Good ball movement again by Lincoln. Spatafor puts up the 3-pointer. It's no good. Followed by Hannah Hall. Smallest player on the floor. Rainford goes by on the closeout to her sister, and they're going to get the foul call, so another second chance opportunity leading to good things.
Yeah, absolutely. And funny for the rebound, they got a bit of a switch there at the end of that ball screen, so Hansen had to go down and take Rainford. Brown got out on Hall. And Hanson got fully engaged, did a great job blocking out, but it was almost like it surprised Brown to be out there extended, and she fell a bit asleep, challenged the shot, and then didn't really stay involved in the rebounding now that she was into foreign territory. And that allowed Hall to run back in and get it. So sometimes everyone worries about the guard going down to the big, but it sometimes can be the other way around too. The big gets to a new area, they're a little uncomfortable, and they forget to do their job of putting a body on Hall.
Absolutely, so sneaky guards, they just get by. And Aiden Rainford there, 1 of 2. Immediately into Haley Brown. She's tied up. And if we remember correctly, that's going to be Lincoln basketball there on the jump ball.
Yeah, Lincoln likes that. They get the tie up, but I would say if you're TRC, I'd also like that. You come down, you get it to Brown. Now, they clearly were collapsing. Lincoln sent 3 or 4.
Oh, excellent effort by Wilson. Just steps out of bounds there.
Yeah, Lincoln sent 3 or 4 to Brown, but then if you can continue that, now that you know what Lincoln's going to do, anything that goes into Brown then back out should give you some space for the guards to play.
Absolutely, if they're going to collapse like that. Lincoln has another opportunity here to get the ball in, and Hall is going to control it. Rainford up top, being guarded by Brown. Handoff to Hannah Hall. Back to Rainford. And Wilson gets in the middle of it. Rainford is going to pick up a foul. I don't know if I'm 100% on my foul count here, but it could be her 4th. And if so, they'll be looking to get her out of the game right away.
That would be a big loss, and I think Rainford's really key to this Lincoln team. So she's still out there right now, but if foul troubles are going to play if foul troubles are going to play, or fouls are going to be a factor in her playing time on the stretch, it'll be big for Lincoln to find other solutions.
Got Brown with the ball up top. Nifty little scoop move, does not go. Lincoln controls. Hannah Hall with the basketball.
Yeah, she's a little bit higher up that time than the previous possession, and now the double didn't come. So you're starting to see, if you're TRC, what are the limits of how far they'll trap Brown.
Hannah Hall there with a great look, converts on the 3-pointer.
This seems to be back where this game has been played. Most of it stayed around the 5 to 7 point differential. So a little bit of time now starting to take in for TRC. Can they start to change the flow of this game?
Lincoln here looks to be really getting after it defensively. They're sending a lot of doubles on the ball. Hanson with the look there on the 3-pointer. Brown fighting for the board. Wilson's in there. Looks like we're going to get another jump ball. I think this is going to be TRC basketball here.
Wilson doing another great job. So that's 2 straight possessions. She's gone down there, been on the floor, making something happen. So we talked before that you got to give Brown a lot of credit for keeping that thing alive, but also Wilson. She tracks the ball, hits the floor, and fights to get in this extra possession.
Great look there by Ennis. Oh, Josephs can't convert, gets a second chance opportunity. It won't go either. That's an excellent pass by Ennis.
Yeah, great read. So they got extended. Rainford got pulled out of the middle of that zone trying to pick up Brown. Left a big gap there for Josephs. Josephs a nice job putting defender on the top shoulder. So that window's there that Ennis finds, just has to convert that.
Got Spatafora with the ball. She's looking for Rainford. They get into that 3-man game you were talking about earlier, but Brown intercepts the pass.
That one probably a little bit on Rainford. She'd stop moving her feet for a second. That's all it takes for Brown to get in that lane.
A great penetration and a good look by Hanson there to Josephs. Pass was maybe just a little low for the post player on that one, but a really good action there from TRC.
Agreed. And then the challenge I think guards have to feel when you get into that tight spaces like that is you got to remember it's tough for the forwards to find that number 1 and then catch it down there. So your pass either have to be over the top or a bounce that's down and coming up as well too. But the skip bounces are really tough to pick up. You don't know where it's coming from or when it's coming.
Got a lot of physical play there in the screening situation, and I think Spatafora is going to pick up that foul. It'll be a TRC basketball.
Yeah, and I expect a little bit of more of that. It seems like some emotions are starting to ramp up here. People are in a battle. Like we talked about, it's getting close to playoff time. This game means a lot for positioning, who gets to be the 3 seed in the final round of playoffs. So everyone wants this game. You're just going to see it's going to get more intense as the time continues to tick off.
And we got Eric Smith back in the game for TRC, who was a real positive for them in the first half. Ball inside, Hanson trying to go inside to Brown there. Martindale intercepts, and we've got Hannah Hall on the break, who will convert for the easy 2-pointer. Looks like we're going to have a timeout here for TRC. The score is 37-28 for Lincoln.
I wouldn't be surprised here this time out if TRC is going to talk a bit about that, the swarming or the trap that Hannah Brown is, that Hannah Brown is facing. So if she's on the blocks, they're sending 2 or 3. If she gets off it a little bit, she's getting one-on-one coverage. So they'll probably talk about some of the positioning and where they want to get her that ball, and then see how the defense is going to respond to those different spaces.
Absolutely. And then for Lincoln here, they've gone on a bit of a run and getting different looks, getting stuff from the outside, pushing in transition. So things are going pretty well for them. Anything that they'll be discussing specifically in their timeout?
I would have to guess that one of the things we thought about halftime, and it looks like they did as well too, is some little wrinkles to their offense to get some shots a bit early in the shot clock. And as the possessions are in the second half, they've done that. There's been less of the 3-2-1 rushing a shot up. So they probably like the flow of what's going on now, and the key for them is just to maintain that. Like there's a lot of ground to make up. There's tons of time. I'm not implying anything different than that. But if you're Lincoln, you want to force that game to be more or less possessions because you're taking your time getting good shots. So you don't want to stop what you're doing to be aggressive, but you want to make sure the TRC has to play defense each time down. Don't just go and give them the ball right back.
And as we mentioned earlier, both teams are excited about this game. Both teams have came out with a lot of aggression, and that we've continued to see that. So there are some foul issues that they're going to have to take into consideration here. A couple of key players going to have to keep that in mind out there on the floor. Just play smart. Arab Smith with the ball on the wing here, picks it up, and that leads to a potential turnover for Rainford, who's right in there. Arab Smith gets it back. We're going to have less than 10 seconds on the shot clock here. Pass to Brown. The shot is no good. Rainford controls the rebound.
And like you tell, the deflection to put the ball back to half had things a little bit rushed. Brown probably had to take that shot, but if she was given an extra 2 seconds, it probably would have gone to the corner where they had an even better opportunity. So the expiring shot clock can be a factor.
Lauren Rainford gets it into the middle of the key there, turns it over, trying to pass to her sister. Taya Hansen controls, ahead to Ennis. And a great hustle by Hannah Hall. We saw that earlier where she actually got the ball back because it went off the TRC player, but again, getting in there for the block.
Yeah, you talk about like great plays, like Hall to get all the way back there. Ennis had done a nice job of getting a sense of when the ball was changing possession and leaking out. Looked like she was going to give them good, easy 2 points, but Hall just took that away and make them have to earn it again.
I thought she was on her own. Haley Brown there tries the shot over 2 defenders. It's no good. Hannah Hall bringing the ball up for Lincoln.
And sometimes you can feel that when you're a name or a face to a program like Haley is right now, Haley Brown, that there's a desire to have to get going in these late games, tough situations. But sometimes that role is actually just getting the defense to respond to you and move the ball. So they would love to have her scoring, and I agree with that. But the last shot selection is probably one that she would like to have a better opportunity, or a team get a better opportunity than that.
Absolutely. And Aiden Rainford converts there on the layup. Arab Smith with the ball on the wing for TRC. Good look inside. Taya Hansen to Michaela Ennis. Easy 2 for TRC. Looks like we're going to have another timeout here. And I think Ben Edward is going to be checking into the game for TRC. Look to get her re-involved.
Now, I'll give, just after saying that last possession for Brown, you got to give her some credit on this one, too. I think one of the best things TRC has done is moved her off those blocks. So it's almost like the higher she gets, Lincoln's not leaving her, so that they got distorted coming all the way towards that elbow. So this is the second time now that once she's come high and given herself up, that the defense is also pulling itself high, and Hansen makes a beautiful pass back door. And that's the second one we had. Earlier they had the one for Josephs as well, too. So I think that you got to look right now, if you're TRC, you have to look at what you're doing with Brown, and you never want to use Brown just as a decoy, but I think you can use her to really distort their defense, and that'll then force Lincoln to make some changes.
I feel like we've got 39-30 here for Lincoln Prep. So Lincoln has extended their lead here. Although they've kept that lead for 5 to now we're up to 9 points for the game. It doesn't necessarily feel comfortable. The action has been back and forth. TRC has generated a lot of, they've disrupted a lot of the plays. Lincoln has got a lot of those, primarily in the first half, but a lot of the last end of shot clock conversions. So it'll be interesting to see if TRC can kind of make an actual comeback here and bring this to a 1-2 point game. We'll have a pretty exciting finish, I think.
Yeah, it's been a great game. It's been back and forth. So, I mean, down to like 11 and a half minutes to go here. I think we're all lined up for a great finish as well.
Martindale pushes the ball over half for Lincoln. Picks it up. Gets it out to Hall, back to Martindale for the little 15-footer, and she converts there in the corner. Great shot.
Yeah, you see those zones. One of the keys is what Martindale did is you find the pocket so that if your teammates do their job of attacking, then find you're set for a good shot.
Ennis answers there with a big 3. She's pumped about that.
Yeah, I think they needed it. It was just the timing. They needed that shot. It just felt good for them.
And with her length, she creates the turnover and knocks it off Rainford there to keep it TRC basketball. So almost a bit of a momentum shift. Lincoln getting the ball back, but Ennis retains possession here for her team.
Yeah, hits the big 3, gets the steal, probably rushes the pass, again, trying to have like a quick score off that exact thing. But then, like you said, a second effort gets in the ball back again, too. So.
And there you go with Brown extending the defense. Hansen unfortunately can't convert on the layup opportunity, but they're going back to that.
Yeah, nice job, TRC. Nice adjustment to get to that. Now you've got 3 layups out of this, extending Brown a bit higher, but the only problem is you've only converted 1.
Ennis disrupts Hall there. Wilson puts it forward to Ennis. Ennis having just a huge impact here late in the third quarter. And again with the steal, using her length, can't control it. Lincoln basketball, she's just been everywhere for the last couple of possessions.
Yeah, what'll be really interesting here is see if it doesn't think anyone's talking about, maybe the only one on this, but I don't know if Ennis actually had possession of that, so if the backcourt clock reset, it looks like they've done the shot clocks. Anyways, nice job by Ennis getting the deflection, keeping it alive, and putting this thing back down. She's made a huge impact, as you said. Just seems to be defensively making shots, scoring, getting out in transition.
Hannah Hall's come out here for the first time at the end of the third quarter, so we'll see what happens. And unfortunately, got a couple of good tips here, a little overzealous. We're going to get a foul call.
And Ennis did a nice job, too. We talked about she had some foul worries in the first half, but now you get to the end of the third quarter. This was her third,
yep.
And with the team foul only being its third as well, 16 seconds, probably not a bad chance to take. You just have to be careful if you're Ennis. Like, you don't want to get another one for the first couple minutes to start the fourth as well. If they can get one more turnover, which is probably the gamble she took here, now you could really have some momentum going into the final 10.
He gets her hand on it again. Wilson picks it up. Quick pass to Ennis. She's got a tough finish there. Can't convert. Wilson with the and one. I think that's maybe your best case scenario on that.
Absolutely. And you know what's even like building on what you're saying with that is not only is it the best case scenario you get the and one, but I feel like Wilson's made her mark on this game. She's been on the floor. She's been involved in the turnovers. She's been involved in some assists, but she hasn't been able to get anything to go offensively despite some good chances. So this might be the one for her just to break the barrier there a bit per se and just to start to get something to go into the hoop. To get her a layup and then a free throw attempt. It might be a chance to have her catch fire just in time for the fourth quarter.
There you go, to see it go through. We've got 6 seconds left here in the third. Rainford pushing the ball through, gets it to Hall. 3 seconds left. And they're not going to get anything up here, so we're going to end with a 3-point differential. So a really big swing in the last 2 minutes there of that one.
Yeah, the Michaela Ennis impact. One of the interesting things we can take from that last little exchange, though, is that we saw Lincoln want to get Hannah Hall a little bit of a break, and they're going to use the quarter break to extend that, meaning giving her the last minute of playing time in the third quarter, this intermission that we come to right now, and then maybe potentially some of the start of the fourth quarter to be a quite significant real-life time versus only 1 minute of playing time. But what happens with these turnovers is that they were almost a little bit stressed. You can feel that emotion, and they had to put her back in so that real-life time break now gets much shorter because it got broken up. And Hannah had to come back in just to make sure they broke the press and didn't allow TRC a chance to tie the thing up before the quarter break. So we'll have to see how Hannah does, or if they're going to try and sneak Hall out at some point in the fourth quarter, if they're just going to let her ride now for the last 10 minutes.
Definitely. We've got, as mentioned, a 3-point margin heading into the fourth quarter, so I think this is exactly what we expected, exactly what we wanted to see. We've got both teams in a pretty good spot. Ben Edward is able to come back into the game, hopefully get a little bit back into the flow, not pick up her fifth, and so both TRC and Lincoln kind of operating at full capacity in that respect.
And Lincoln's done a really nice job of taking away Haley Brown and just crowding her on the catch right now. So we've talked about, as TRC's moved her around some, that's created some really great chances for the team. But it'll be interesting now in the last 10 minutes. You get Ben Edward back. playing some minutes now. You're going to have Brown out there that hasn't really made her mark like she is capable of doing in this game yet. And potential for any one of these players, and Wilson hasn't really made a shot yet either. So there's a lot of weapons that could be just waiting to explode here for TRC. So Lincoln's task would be to make sure they don't get wrapped up in the emotion and stick with what's given them the success and the lead to this stage.
Absolutely. You saw Ennis's emotion at the end of the third quarter there. She's excited to be back in this game, excited to be contributing after having to spend much of the first half there on the bench. TRC's in with their starters as Hannah Hall takes a 3 to open up the fourth and converts, getting some of that momentum back Lincoln's way.
Lincoln has been so timely, and a great pass there. They have 2 cutters go take up the help, and then a great find for an open 3-point attempt. I mean, that was a great possession, and they convert the ones they have to. Lincoln's been so crucial or so key in the shots they're making.
And then for TRC, they come back and they go right into Haley Brown, who's going to be at the line here shooting 2.
And then we talked about in the intermission, it'll be interesting if that was just like a one possession thing or what happened, but they went in there and she got single coverage that time. So if you're TRC, you probably are just salivating to see that. If you can throw it into Brown now, get single coverage in the fourth quarter, she's a go-to workhorse down there. I mean, she takes the first one and gets right towards the rim, draws a foul, and I'm assuming if you can go single coverage, they'll go to her all 10 minutes here.
And if Rainford there, I believe, just picked up her 4th foul, so we've got Ferreira coming into the game for Lincoln. Brown goes 1 of 2. Tie up here for the rebound. Ben Edwards right in there, gets the jump ball, and it's going to stay with TRC.
And they've missed her a bit. I mean, she's been so limited by the fouls. Her minutes have been a little less. You've almost forgotten how impactful she can be. And in these types of things, she adds some scoring, but she really adds disrupting your offense, getting you second chances offensive rebounding.
The easy finishes. She knew you were talking about her. TRC keeps the pressure on. That was creating such great opportunities for them there at the end of the third. And we're back to a 3-point game here with Hannah Hall with the basketball, kicking to Martindale in the corner for Lincoln. Martindale tied up. Ennis gets in there. We're going to have another jump ball opportunity. This time it should stay down here with Lincoln.
One of the fun things to watch now will be the chess match between TRC and Lincoln. How long do they stay in the pressure? Do they want to finish in that? Are they going to go away and come back? Are they going to try and run it the whole time? And is Lincoln going to try and play Hall the entire time they're in pressure? So there's a couple of pieces everyone's trying to sort through.
Another end of shot clock opportunity. Hall almost grabs her own rebound. It's like we have a foul call here against TRC.
And Hall, again, we talked earlier, she does a great job in this end of clock stuff, gets the ball up on the rim, give it a chance. So maybe it goes, maybe it doesn't, but both times these ones have not gone, but they've gotten a second chance out of it. This one draws a foul. Last time they had the offensive rebound. So just getting it to the rim can be so key at those end of clock situations.
Absolutely, because we're talking about the defense is scrambling. It's not an unknown situation anyway. TRC disrupts that, pushes, Wilson pushes right up to Brown, who controls, gets Hansen. It's the second layup she's missed here in the last couple of minutes. She'll get back into it though.
That one I think is tough. It's underrated. As a fan, you think like, oh, she seems so clear, but you catch that one right in your chin almost, and like 3 feet out. It's just tough to get that down and in a rhythm. So it's I think that's actually a really tough one.
For sure. And then looking to push there again, Ennis to Hansen. There's a turnover. Hannah Hall couldn't convert on that 3-point opportunity prior to that. So going to be Lincoln basketball here. TRC still bringing the pressure. Early push, Spadafora has it in the corner with Ennis on her.
It's happening a bit to this pressure though. This TRC's pressure now, it's happening is you've had Ennis, who's been so active, so engaged in it, and she's the front person now, which is so much work. And now you see that she's starting to fatigue a little bit. It has a totally different look to it now. Now she's long and she's jumping, but she's no longer chasing down some of these passes. So either she needs a break or she needs a position switch as to who's in the front of that pressure.
Wilson with the shot attempt there from Ben Edwards. Ben Edwards secures the rebound out to Ennis. Ennis is going to take the 3, looks short. Brown with the rebound and the reverse. She gets it to go. Haley Brown hopefully can be big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you like that if you're TRC. You get Anna Brown on a one-on-one down there because of the offensive rebound. Defense isn't even set, so the air ball worked out quite fortunate for them.
She gets the opportunity not to force the shot, kind of get it off the offensive rebound there, and we have a 1-point game. Lincoln again under 10 seconds in the shot clock. And Hannah Hall again. keeping their team up in this one with the timely 3. We're going to have a timeout, TRC.
You know, there's something to be said when you have that grit or this clutch ability to you that Lincoln has shown, and in particular Hannah Hall, but sometimes when things aren't going your way, and just to make those shots when you have to, and they've done that the entire game, and that was a big one again now too. That was down to 1 point. It feels like a lot of TRC, but Hall just has the response, and it was deep, but just settled out there, knocked it down. I think that Lincoln just gives you a chance to breathe, which is probably what they really needed.
Absolutely, and I mean, as a player on that team, knowing that you've got, okay, we're in a tough situation. We have Hannah who's been hitting these huge shots. It takes a lot of responsibility off your shoulders, and you're maybe able to play more freely. Not as nervous here at the end of the game in what is a close, important game. And Steve, they're playing to a packed house tonight, which is so nice to see. Both of us involved in women's athletics, and we've talked about the support for female programming. So it's really awesome to be here at TRC, involved in this kind of an atmosphere, and here showcasing the work of these girls, the talents of these girls, and there being people in the gym to appreciate it. So it's great. It's
really exciting. As you said, like we touched on like the emotion and excitement in the gym, but also like to have OSBATV hosting this, and then Roger Scable is here as well too. Like just showing what impact this is having in the community and the support this league is getting, and the quality that we're getting out of it is just really fun to watch.
It is. Hansen with the good screen there. Wilson with the pull-up, can't convert. Ben Edward with the reach. And we'll see there what number of foul. The way that she's reacting, it looks as though it's her 5th. And we've got Arab Smith coming in with the substitution. So Ben Edward might be done for the night. Kind of starting to get back into the flow of the game there. Unfortunate.
Yeah, you could feel her impact when she was on. The really tough thing, the really difficult part about this is just you feel for a senior in their home gym. Like she was really hoping, as they all do, as we all do, is this emotion of tonight is to have a really great night. The one thing you don't want in a great night is to not be able to play because you fouled out. Yeah. And she had probably 3 calls tonight that were just really unlucky. I don't think they were bad calls. I think she just got caught in some really unique situations of people being off balance and her running into them.
Martindale with the 3. Wilson goes up and secures a pretty tough rebound, and we've got Hannah Call coming back down the other way for Lincoln Prep. So a 4-point game here with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in the 4th quarter. And we've got Couture here in the game for Lincoln Prep, the first time that we've seen her. Kicking to Kaylee Hall with the drive, can't convert, battling for the rebound. Oh, and the substitution almost makes an immediate impact there, but it's going to be TRC basketball.
Yeah, right at the rim, great chance. Way to stay active and come into the game and has an impact, which is what you want. You ask for minutes from your bench in these types of situations, and a lot of times as coaches you say anything can keep us neutral, but that's a very positive play. So you got to like that if you're Lincoln, and it buys you some more time so you can rest those that you need, knowing that you're getting quality production on the floor.
Absolutely, so valuable. I mean, every player plays a different role on the team, and really great as a coach when you can have your players come in and perform. Josephs with a good pass to Arab Smith, who, as we talked about, has been having an impact in this game throughout its entirety. She's going to go to the line here for 2.
Joseph with a great pass. It fooled me. I think it fooled a lot of people here. It looked like she had put all of her vision down towards the strong side corner and kind of threw it over her own shoulder as a misdirection. So great find and got Arab Smith going to the rim.
And TRC, who has been down much of this game despite their play, gives them an opportunity to stop the clock. See a couple go in. Now we're down back to a 2-point differential here. TRC still coming with that pressure. Arab Smith gets Martindale a half. We're going to call it kick ball, and it's going to go TRC's way.
Yeah, and it's hard to argue this, so I'm not arguing, just saying for TRC, this has been so successful, but you wonder how long. I feel like Ennis's impact on the front of this pressure is already starting to fade some, and where will it be if you're trying to play this for the next 6 minutes as well, too, to finish this game? And maybe they don't. Maybe they want to ride it for a couple minutes, but if they want her to ride this out to finish this game, they may need to either give her a quick break or a different spot in that pressure to find some way to balance.
Absolutely. Wilson inside to Josephs, who's able to convert there. And we even see Ennis. You can't get a positive thing every single time on the pressure, and that's where her energy, where she was feeding off. Maybe you can, though. Maybe you can. We've got back over here from Spadafora.
Yeah, maybe. So, as I said, not the question. It's been so successful. You potentially could stay in until you run into some sort of problems. I'll just point out something to be aware of as this goes down.
Getting inside again. Wilson to Josephs. Can't convert this time, and Martindale with the rebound.
You see Joseph, the first one looked very smooth. She was on balance. Nice one. This one, she looked like she lost a little bit on that front foot, so the shot didn't have the same angle to it.
Hall to Spadafora on the wing. Brown and Hall.
Yeah, great matchup for two people to tangle that one up. That's what we want to see, actually. It was just great, but both of them get in there. I think Brown might take a little, maybe a potential hyperextension there or bang to the knee, so looks like she's trying to get it. Looks like she's trying to get a second or as much time as the referees will give her, but sub is on cue.
TRC basketball here. Ennis to inbound. Brown goes off. She is walking, so hopefully we'll see her. We'll see her back here in a couple of minutes if she's all right. Hansen checks into the game.
Not what you want for TRC. You'd like to have her on the floor here for the last 5 minutes. The impact she has just being on the floor can't be measured, so I'm sure they're going to be doing all they can to get her back out there as quick as possible. Checked out and confirmed it's okay.
Hopefully Hansen up top, passes to Wilson on the wing, back to Hansen inside. She takes a quick jumper, no good. Martindale with the rebound and the push here to Katura. And the sub, really valuable minutes, converts on the layup in transition.
And I wonder too, what's the timeline on Rainford?
Wilson with the pull-up, and there we go. Saw her foul shots go through, and she's able to get that one. A good pass by Hannah Hall. TRC not back in transition defense. Martindale with the easy two.
Yeah, I'd love to say it's because of what we talked about earlier with Ennis, but I think that one might be more a factor of Brown actually not on the back end of the pressure. So something that TRC's got to look at all what's going on in the lineup they have. Their comfort level in this pressure.
Absolutely, and we're just getting some really back and forth basketball here. TRC with the quick two. Martindale in the corner up top to Hall. Passes to Hannah Hall for the three. It's no good. Fighting for the rebound. Hansen secures it. She looks up right away to Ennis, who's got Arab Smith ahead of her. Spadafora is back with the hard foul. And Arab Smith will go to the line to shoot two. So the teams will get a bit of a breather after a bunch of back and forth action.
Yeah, in all honesty, that's probably a great foul from the standpoint that it's been going back and forth. There seems to be a lot of momentum going for TRC. So the free throws, one piece that's nice, make them go earn it, but also I think just to get this stoppage, this breather, and then recollect yourself of your Lincoln. You don't want to get wrapped up into this excitement that's going on. You want to get back to the fundamental pieces and the good team play that's got you in the lead in the first place.
Nara Brown here with a chance to give TRC the lead for the first time in, maybe since maybe all game. 52-51 here for TRC, and Rainford checks back into the game, as you just mentioned.
Yeah, I think the first lead since 3-0.
There you go, since Haley Brown's opening shot. Now we've got 53-51, TRC up 2 in the fourth quarter. Hannah Hall pushing the ball, gets it right back into Rainford, who is just subbed, but who picks up a quick foul there with the elbow. They're going to call that an offensive foul. And we have her for 5 here, so we might have, Rainford a very big impact player.
Yeah, and the signals come in that it is 5. So not only is she 5 and fouled out now, but she's also not played for much of this quarter. So the foul impact is not just these 3.5 minutes. It's actually been more like 10, 11 minutes of impact of losing Rainford. So that's been pretty big, and you can see it's quite emotional for her as well too. The two pieces that come with that last one too is like TRC was really slow getting back under pressure. I still think that's going to be a factor down the stretch.
That looked like some pretty good defense by Wilson there, but she's going to get the foul call with Hannah Hall going to the basket. And I mean, just look out there with Rainford's absence and see the size advantage that TRC has now, and especially if Brown checks back in.
Yeah, and she's down the sideline trying to get herself back, walking around, and we're looking at the athleticism that TRC is putting out there, but also the potential now to you could go big as well, and Lincoln has maybe less options to match up with that.
Hannah Hall misses both here, so we still have a 2-point advantage for TRC. Hansen controls the board, pushes ahead to Wilson. Wilson's got her eyes up. She's just to pull it out. Wilson to Hansen. Spatafor almost intercepts that right inside to Joseph. That's an excellent finish. Catch and finish by Joseph there.
Yeah, great find there by Hansen too, just out of the reach of the defender, leading her to the layup.
Got Hall with the ball at the top here, Kaylee Hall. Out to Rainford, the only Rainford that we have left in the game, Lauren. Spatafor, good ball movement here. And an excellent block coming across and hustle by Wilson. It's going to remain Lincoln basketball, but some good play there by Wilson, whose name we've said a lot this game.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to give Wilson credit now. She got 2 blocks this game, so we thought the first one how that was unique from that position, but I mean, she's done it twice, so credit to her.
And just great hustle here in the last 3 minutes. Wilson putting everything out there on the line for TRC.
There's a lot of, I mean, you can just feel the intensity in here right now. There's a lot of excitement. People are on the edge of their seats. So this is exactly what we were hoping for when we came tonight for Game of the Week.
Absolutely. I'm nervous. I'm not even supporting the team. It's just the really great atmosphere. So we've got a 4-point game here and another late clock situation for Lincoln, not able to convert. TRC controls. A ball screen for Wilson, who is going to step back for the 3. She's feeling good. Those couple of plays. Doesn't go, unfortunately, and Hannah Hall has the basketball here for Lincoln Prep. Good defense by Arab Smith. Forces Hannah Hall into a tough shot, and Josephs controls the rebound. Remain TRC ball.
And there's a lot of pressure on Hall right now as well, so the offensive load falls a bit on her shoulders to either create shots for herself or a teammate. And you can feel a bit on that possession without Rainford that she might have taken a shot she hadn't taken the rest of the game. So Lincoln's got to find some solutions. They got to stay calm. They got to get a better quality shot than that to make up this little gap. 4 points isn't much, but every possession's so big now with only 2 minutes to go.
Absolutely, we've got a timeout here for Lincoln Prep, and Katura Balabiakubo, who we've seen for the first time in this fourth quarter, has extended her substitution and her stay here for Lincoln, contributing positively to them.
Yeah, she's been a big sub, and one of the things we talked about, like the Rainford effect of the fouls, has been almost a whole quarter's worth. And with the subs coming in and be able to play at the level that they have and contribute, that's good, probably gives some confidence and some solace in the fact that now without Rainford, you know the lineup you have is playing with success and can contribute. Lincoln's question isn't really who's on the floor. I think they've proven that everyone on the floor can play and help in this case right now. It's got to be to make sure they get good shots and get those 4 points made up. So they can't allow much on the defensive end, but to find some solution to score a couple baskets.
Absolutely. So in reverse of what we've seen here, we had a 4-point advantage for Lincoln at the end of the first, a 5 at half, a 3 at the end of the third quarter, and now we're looking at a 4-point advantage for TRC heading into the final 2 minutes of the fourth.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, it's just been right like this the entire game. It's just been back and forth. I think even at its biggest point, which might have been 9, we've always said the game has felt just right there, like possession for possession, and now it's going to continue to be for the last 2 minutes. So this has been, I was fortunate to do the game earlier this year with Lincoln and TRC, and I think it was the same deal, just another great game.
Absolutely. Lincoln coming with pressure of their own here as Arab Smith brings the ball up. But it looks like, down to the 8-second violation there.
And a couple of seconds had already gone off before the timeout, which they may have forgotten, but you can see TRC was a little upset. Usually like that clock to get to 15 before you call the 8-second. The math is not on that, but usually it's what coaches like.
Hannah Hall with the ball up top, passes to Spatafora, gets it back, takes the layup, can't convert. Balabia Kubu in there for 2 offensive rebounds, but unfortunately gets a travel call. Really getting after it, though.
Yeah, I mean, creating shots, but the thing at this stage of the game, and unfairly saying it worse the rest of the game, is you need those to go now. So they've been so clutch all game, Lincoln, to making those shots. They need them right now.
Errant pass there, but Arab Smith able to secure it. Looks inside for Josephs. Hannah Hall disrupts that and controls the basketball. She's looking up for her teammates. She's got Katura out to Lauren Rainford, who's going to set up for the 3, and it's no good. Wilson controls the rebound.
I like that shot, though. Hannah Hall does a nice job in the backcourt, getting them settled, getting control of the advantage, and then a nice extra pass.
Good look by Ennis to Arab Smith, who just makes herself available at the rim. So we've got a 6-point lead here for TRC, a minute left. Lauren Rainford, the layup is no good. Wilson has the basketball, looks up for Ennis. Interrupted there, but Lincoln can't control it. We've got Katura Balabiakubu, who's in the middle of everything, it seems, for Lincoln in these last couple of minutes, but just can't quite get a handle on it to control.
We'll see if Lincoln talks a bit about the shot clock. Shot clock really got reset on that play, which I'm not sure Lincoln actually had possession, so a few free seconds for TRC.
Ennis inside to Josephs, Everett contested. Out to Ennis, who hits the 2, and we're gonna have a timeout here. Oh, yeah, looks like we're gonna get a timeout, sorry. And the noise in the gym is just difficult to hear, but we got a timeout for Lincoln. TRC, they're pumped, up 8, 52 seconds left.
It's been an incredible game, and now the thing for Lincoln is that they're going to have to draw on what they've been so great at all game, is they're going to need to make some big shots here. It's really difficult when it's 8 points, 1 minute to go, never insurmountable, but the key to this time now is actually things all have to go your way. So you can't afford good shots you don't make. You've got to make shots, good or bad, at this stage of the game. So we're going to assume Lincoln's going to come out now and something to get Hannah Hall involved, whether she takes the shot or creates. She's probably got to get a touch on this thing to see how they defend her, and then we'll go from there is what happens next.
Absolutely, and we're seeing TRC here in the final 3 minutes or so of play doing this without Haley Brown, so sharing the ball really well offensively, still being disruptive defensively.
Yeah, and they've had a good flow. We don't know with Brown if she was eligible to come back or not, because with how they played, they could have just chose to continue to go with the lineup that was working. So it's hard to say what the status was with her down there. It doesn't look too serious. She's up and in the huddles with them too, but the point, I guess, for us is just they've been getting great production from those that are in the game, and TRC's put themselves in a real good position with 53 seconds still to go.
Absolutely. You talked about those finishes being so important at this point of the game. So you got Josephs, Arab Smith, Ennis. Really, they're converting on the opportunities that they've had here late. Lincoln inbounding the basketball. Hannah Hall's got it at the top. She's guarded by Ennis. Gets the screen from Spadafora. Puts up the 3. It's no good. Arab Smith controls the rebound for TRC. Hall trying to go for the steal and picks up the foul. It's going to be 2 shots for Arab Smith here.
Lincoln did a good job. Clearly they talked about that. They didn't want to let much time go off right now. They need 3 possessions plus these free throws. So they're going to need a lot of possessions in this game still right now. So they clearly talked about taking a chance to steal and how quickly they want to foul. You just want to make sure on the same page of that. Are you playing for one trap first, trying to steal a pass first, or are you fouling right away? But they look pretty clear on what they were up to.
Arab Smith 0 for 1 here, getting some encouragement from her teammates. 42 seconds left in the game. TRC up 8. Misses on the second. Ennis with the follow, can't convert. Ball's tipped around, and Hansen has it in the corner for TRC. Looks like we're going to get another foul there from Hall on Hansen, who will go to the line. TRC fighting for it late.
Yeah, that's going to be the worst case scenario for Lincoln. You luck out in that she misses both free throws, so you have a chance, and then they get not 1 but 2 offensive rebounds, and that's going to force you to use another foul, give them another chance to put points on the board. So with that miss, it's going to stay at 3 possessions, but you got to start to score if you're Lincoln.
A bit deflating to being now down, not able to secure that offensive rebound, and some time runs off the clock too when they with the ball being batted around there. Hansen misses the first.
We have looks at the score table, some clarity. They're trying to get the referees over to talk about some clarity. I'm not sure if it's around the game clock, shot clock, or score, but there's an issue we're trying to sort out here.
Looks like they're just having trouble working the shot clock, maybe. And Lincoln Prep gets called in here. Again, I mean, we're here. Now we're in an 8-point game, and it's been a really exciting back and forth contest. And just to highlight the impressive skill level of these girls, they're already impressive accomplishments. Where many of them are going to go next year, and how great this league is for showcasing those talents. It's so awesome to see this at the high school level as Hannah Hall pushes the ball here in the final 30 seconds. Scramble. Hall gets it on the wing. Couture with the kick. Spatafora can't quite control it. Don't think there's been any control of this possession so far. Shot clock's winding down here. Lauren Rainford in the corner. Can't convert on the 3, and we're going to have a shot clock violation here, it looks like. TRC basketball. 10 seconds left on the clock and a 9-point game.
Yeah, and
my math.
it was a wild possession. I'm sure not the way Lincoln wanted to draw that one up, but they did end up getting the shot they want. The one piece is I think they were probably in the mindset we just got to score at that stage of the game, but they could never get anything under control to go attack the rim. So the action all stayed extended to the 3-point line, ends up in a 3 at the shot clock expiration, and now you're in trouble with 10 seconds still to go.
Ennis gets the ball into Arab Smith, but looks like Lincoln's going to control, put up a shot there, keeps it alive, Hansen secures. And here we go on International Women's Day. We have seen an amazing contest between two wonderful women's teams, with TRC coming out on top, a 60 to 51 point victory over Lincoln Prep.
And you nailed that. Like the showcase of the talent and the level of athletes that we have going here and all the people putting into this OSBA is really fun to see. And we're seeing the product of this tonight. The matchup they couldn't have dreamed up a schedule to work out this well, to have these two teams playing for that playoff seed versus each other at this time of the season on senior night. There's a lot of emotion here in this gym, and I think it was just a lot of fun to be a part of. And the outcome is exactly what we got. TRC trails for most of the game, comes back and sneaks at a 9-point victory in their home court senior night.
Absolutely. A really, really great game. Thanks a lot, Steve. That was a lot of fun. Happy International Women's Day to everybody, and congratulations to both TRC and Lincoln Prep on just a really wonderful game.
Thank you. See you next week.